It's a terrible day in America. David Lynch is dead. I originally planned to make a video for a different album this week, but I decided to delay it and review this album instead, given the circumstances. This album was created by Julee Cruise, rest in peace, Angelo Badalementi, rest in peace, and David Lynch, rest in peace. Oh, how it hurts me to say that. Regarding the album itself, it was released in 1989, shortly before Twin Peaks, a TV show by David Lynch, one that you've probably heard of before. Several songs from the album were featured in Twin Peaks, and Julee Cruise herself even appears in a few episodes. Angelo Badalementi, who created the soundtrack for Twin Peaks, also did the music for this album, so this album and that TV show are heavily tied together. This album is sort of split into two halves. The first half, which is happier, the second half, which is sadder. I know a lot of albums are kind of structured like this, but with this album the divide is very immediate and obvious. The album starts with Floating, which is very slow, waltzy, and dreamlike, which sets the tone for the rest of the album. The song sort of drags up and down as these chords echo around in the back. It sounds like a dance hall that's empty, but the music is still playing. We then go from Floating to Falling, and the instrumental from this song is the main theme for Twin Peaks. The lyrics are simple but powerful, sounding like someone who's just starting to fall in love, saying, "Don't let yourself be hurt this time." And the song sort of builds, and it really does seem to fall, not downwards but sideways, at least until we get to the chorus. This song is doing soundless backflips in the night sky, but they're only soundless because the sound is inside you. And I like how the lyrics point out that falling in love sort of recontextualizes everything you see around you. It seems the same, but something is different, because you're falling in love. I Remember sets a different tone. The lyrics, like on most of the album, are vague and somewhat reminiscent. It starts off being pretty good, a slow, reverberating dream dance in the halls of nowhere. But then the song jump scares you with this evil piano and these chaotic drums, and Julie herself sounds out of key, and the whole thing descends into raving lunatic madness. But out of that madness comes sudden beauty when the dissonant drums and piano fade out and make way for this gorgeous church-sounding organ that just fills the entire room. The instrumental kicks back in, and the last third of this song continues the waltzy sound, but it sounds sadder and more full this time around. It fades out instead of ending as the faded dance continues ever onward into the void. Rockin' Back Inside My Heart is a more standard song, but it's still dripping with Roadhouse aesthetic. The catchy chorus melody and the unrelenting piano chords make this song one of the more memorable ones on a first listen. It's really well placed as a more upbeat song on the album, right after I Remember and right before Mysteries of Love. Mysteries of Love somehow manages to be incredibly emotionally effective with only like 4 lyrics and a few synths. The way the music swells and ascends and then tumbles down while Julie's vocals just drag out into the night is fantastic. I love the sentiment of this song. Love is always a mystery, but sometimes for just a split second, for one night, when the wind blows, it all seems to make sense. This one gets a gold star. Into the Night very clearly marks the second half of the album, with Julie immediately saying, "Now it's dark," as soon as the song starts. This song is low, foggy, and sad. It feels bleak and abandoned, like an old town that's empty except for one person wandering the streets. He used to come here all the time, but now there's no one here except him, the fog, and the neon signs. This song also has sort of a jump scare toward the end, which at first I thought didn't fit, but now it's one of my favorite parts. I Float Alone is another great track. I love the way the instruments just press right up against the borders of the song, and the way Julie's vocal melody goes along with them. Once again, everything just seems so bleak. The sun has completely set on this half of the album. The Nightingale is a song made only sadder by its seemingly upbeat tone. It seems to be a denial of loneliness, saying, "One day I will find my true love. The nightingale told me. They're out there. Please, come to me." In moments like these, the only thing that keeps you alive is the knowledge, the hope that somebody is out there waiting for you. This recontextualization makes the beautiful and airy backing vocals sound like a mournful and desperate cry for help. Gold star. The Swan is very short and not too much happens musically, but it continues the dark and mysterious sound and lyrics. A dying swan is a sickly and powerful visual, but we're not even really talking about a swan at all. It's a smile that died on the water. The World Spins is the perfect way to end this album. It's definitely not happy, but it's not exactly sad either. This song reflects on the cycle of everything, the circle of being. We're still in the lonely night. It's no longer a lamentation though, but a reflection. The sun comes up and down each day. It's dark now, but the sun will rise and we'll be happy again before it sets again and rises and sets and rises, bringing us back and forth underneath it. Love comes and goes at random and we have no control over its mysterious powers. The world spins and all we can do is hold on tight and try to ride it as well as we can without being flung off into space. Overall, Floating Into the Night by Julee Cruise, Angelo Badalementi, and David Lynch is a fantastic album, one that everyone should listen to if you haven't already, and also watch the show Twin Peaks. You won't regret it, I promise. Rest in peace, Julie, Angelo, and David. They finally reunited, and they're making music together again.